In August 2005, a group of 4 young adults ventured to a popular and scenic spot in Utah known as Y Mountain, which overlooks the city of Provo. The area is known for its beauty and is a favorite for hikers, climbers, and thrill seekers. Among the spots that attract visitors on this mountain is a natural cave system, known for its narrow passages and underwater tunnels. The cave in question is located just above the old Seven Peaks Golf Course. Though it was not a well-known or official tourist attraction, the cave had gained attention among local adventurers, who were intrigued by the challenge it posed. The cave was not intended to be a recreational space. It was an isolated and precarious location, with treacherous underwater passages that could be deadly for anyone who was unprepared or unfamiliar with the dangers lurking within. This cave system, given its narrow underwater tunnel that led from one cavern to another, earned the ominous nickname, the Cave of Death. Despite its dangers, it remained an alluring destination for those looking to test their bravery. On the fateful day of the tragedy, the group of young adults, comprising Blake Donner 24 years old, Jennifer Galbraith 21 years old, Scott McDonald 28 years old, and Ariel Singer 18 years of age, made their way to the cave. The group, all residents of the Provo area, had been acquainted for some time and shared a sense of adventure and thrill-seeking behavior. They had visited the cave before, but this time, they would not return. The group of 4 set out on their ill-fated adventure with the intention of exploring the cave, which they had previously heard about from other locals. Armed with flashlights and minimal gear, they embarked on the journey into the cave, which began as an exciting and somewhat daring excursion. At first, everything seemed to be going as planned, but as they ventured deeper into the cave system, things took a disastrous turn. The most dangerous part of the cave was the underwater passage that connected 2 caverns. It was a narrow, tight space that required one to swim through cold, murky water. The tunnel was poorly lit and disorienting, making it easy for explorers to become lost or trapped. While there had been warnings about the dangers of exploring this part of the cave, many adventurers, particularly young people seeking thrills, often underestimated its risks. The group of 4 entered the underwater tunnel, and as they swam through the dark, confined space, they likely encountered difficulties. The passage was fraught with hazards, uneven rock formations, swift currents, and a lack of oxygen in some areas. Their flashlights may have flickered, adding to the sense of confusion. Some reports suggested that the group became disoriented, losing their bearings as they tried to navigate the dangerous tunnel. The situation turned perilous when the group, overwhelmed by the intense conditions of the cave, found themselves unable to find their way out. The strong currents and lack of visibility made it difficult for them to navigate back to safety. The tight confines of the cave meant that any wrong turn could lead to disaster. Unfortunately, the group became trapped in the underwater passage, with no way to escape. One by one, the individuals began to succumb to the deadly conditions. Panic likely set in as they realized they were running out of air. They struggled to maintain their composure, but the confined space and lack of oxygen made it nearly impossible to stay calm. In the end, all 4 individuals drowned in the underwater passage, their lives cut short by a series of unfortunate decisions and the unforgiving nature of the cave. The tragedy was not immediately discovered, as the group had failed to return to their cars or check in with anyone after their planned adventure. As the hours passed without any word from the group, their families and friends began to grow concerned. By the evening of August 23, 2005, a search was initiated. Local authorities, including police and search and rescue teams, began scouring the area, looking for any sign of the missing individuals. The search was a daunting task, as the terrain around Y Mountain was rugged and the cave system itself was difficult to access. The group's last known location was believed to be the cave, so that became the primary focus of the search. Rescue teams, after working tirelessly through the night, eventually located the entrance to the cave. Once inside, they began to search the cave system, carefully navigating the narrow and dangerous passages. The conditions inside the cave were treacherous, and the searchers were aware of the risks involved, but they pushed forward in the hope of finding survivors. When the bodies of the 4 individuals were finally discovered, it was clear that they had perished in the underwater passage. Their bodies were found in the tight space, confirming that they had drowned while attempting to make their way through the perilous tunnel. The rescue workers were unable to save them, and it became a grim confirmation that the group had been trapped and had died in the cave. The news of the tragedy quickly spread, and it shocked the local community. The cave, once considered an exciting and challenging destination for adventurers, became a symbol of the risks associated with exploring natural formations without proper knowledge, preparation, and respect for the inherent dangers. The aftermath of the tragedy was marked by a mixture of grief, anger, and reflection. Families and friends of the victims were devastated by the loss of their loved ones. In the days and weeks following the incident, the media reported extensively on the event, and many people began to question the safety of the cave and other similar natural formations. In response to the tragedy, local authorities took steps to close off the cave system. They sealed the entrance with rocks and concrete, hoping to prevent future access to the dangerous location. The closure was a measure to ensure that no other adventurous souls would fall victim to the same fate. Despite these efforts, the cave's dark reputation lingered, and it became a grim reminder of the importance of safety when exploring natural wonders. The families of the victims were left to grieve their loss, but many of them spoke publicly about the need for better awareness and precautions when engaging in outdoor activities. They wanted to ensure that others would not suffer the same fate, and they emphasized the importance of proper preparation, awareness of the risks involved, and the necessity of respecting nature's power. The tragedy also raised questions about the ethics of exploring dangerous natural sites and whether authorities should take more proactive measures to restrict access to certain areas. In the case of the Cave of Death, the area was not an officially designated tourist attraction, and there had been no formal warnings posted about the dangers. The victims' families argued that there needed to be more education on safety for outdoor explorers. Years later, the incident would be remembered as one of the most tragic accidents in the region's history. The Cave of Death, once a place of mystery and challenge for local explorers, became synonymous with the risks of unprepared exploration. The deaths of Blake Donner, Jennifer Galbraith, Scott McDonald, and Ariel Singer served as a tragic reminder that thrill-seeking can sometimes have fatal consequences when proper safety measures are not followed.